Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 736. Floyd and Bert plus Other came along. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at WeaversDepartmentStore.com. Drop over at Weavers. Check out some of the great Mayberry items they have over there. They got the Mayberry Union High shirts. Now, we've had those for a while at Weavers, but we now have blue ones like we used to years ago, along with the ash gray. So head over there and check those out. You might want to get them. And hey, it's summertime for those bug bites and things like that. Head over to Weavers and pick up Miracle Salve. That's right, you can get some Miracle Salve. Head over to Weavers and just check out all the cool things they have over there. And while you're at it, I want to thank all of our patrons who support the podcast. This week's executive producer for episode number 736 is Dave Caroni. The Patreon patron of the week is Brian Saul, and Brian Smerrill is our higher sheriff of Two Chairs No Waiting. It's great. It's always great to have people supporting the show, and I thank them very much for it. I'm Alan Newsom, the host of Two Chairs No Waiting. Now, I'm a little busy here this time of year, so I'm having to do a little bit of things that I'm cheating. So this week, we're going to be hearing some old podcasts that I've done in the past. We're going to be hearing pieces of those and catch up with them. I asked people, because I knew I was going to be gone for a few weeks, to submit what their favorite episodes were here of Two Chairs No Waiting, and I got a list from one person. And so only one person has favorite episodes, I guess. But I want to thank James Dodson for doing this for me. He sent me a list, and so we're going to play along with this. And so you're going to be hearing today first, and I'll come back in after that. But first, you're going to be hearing episode number 92. 92. Oh, 92. People always talk about the weather, and nobody does anything about it. Yeah, well, so 92 is actually, it was a podcast I did that is kind of like an old radio show. So it's Bert and Floyd, Business Partners is the name of it. So that's I'm going to do that setup, and I'm going to hand it off because we have a special host for this part of the episode. Now, remember, this was recorded back in 2010. So the video quality will not be as good as our normal video quality, but it still, I hope, is fun. And the story is great. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. I'm going to hand it off to my special guest host for this section of the podcast, Floyd Lawson. So Floyd, if you could take this away.
Yeah, is this thing on? Can you hear? Hello, everybody. Hello there. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a rough day here at the barbershop. Things just been crashing down around me. Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, Alan had asked me to host again tonight because, last time it went over so well. But it's been a while, so it's good to be here. He was also telling me, that Bert Miller from over at Weavers, he works there now. He works over at Weavers now. Yeah, he used to carry around one of these traveling salesman cases, but he doesn't now. He works at Weavers. I'm going to try to have him drop by, kind of like a flashback here, because I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened a long time ago back in Mayberry. Yeah, you see, Andy is out of town this weekend, and there was just some funny stuff that happened, because Bert had to come by over at the barber shop. Yeah, and and then when he came by, it was kind of like,
Hello, Floyd.
Hey, hello, Bert. Come on in.
Thanks, Floyd. It's always good to take a load off. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like you're going somewhere. Yeah. Where are you headed with a big suitcase? Nashville? Atlanta? Oh,
no.
I bet you're going to Florida.
No.
Yeah, it's a nice place this time. Yeah, this time of year.
Oh, no, Floyd, no, I'm not going anywhere. This is my sales case. Remember? The one I used to carry around door to door.
Yeah, oh, yes, yeah. Your sales case. Yeah. Well, why? What about Weavers? Oh, you didn't get fired, did you, Bert? Oh, that Ben Weaver, he's got a nasty streak when he wants to. He's
No, Floyd, no, I didn't get fired.
Did he cut your hours?
Oh,
Did he cut your
no,
pay? Yeah.
no.
Oh, Ben. Yeah, he can. Yeah. Remember what he tried to do to the Scobies?
No, Floyd, nothing like that, nothing. No, Ben's a real gentleman these days. You might even say he's gotten around to being a bit of a softy.
Yeah, a softy?
Yeah.
Ben Weaver? Yeah, well, I never would imagine that, huh? Ben, a softy.
Oh, yeah, Ben's an old softy.
Hey, you remember that ice cream truck that comes through over here about every other week? It plays music.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, and all the kids in Barney run up and with their dimes to try to get ice cream. Isn't that called Mr. Softy?
Well, yes, I believe it is. You know, I know the driver. I wish I could have had a little music like that. It would have saved a lot of doorbell ringing.
Hey, you know, they've got great pistachio tutti fruity flavor of ice cream. Yeah, what I'd really like to see them carry would be huckleberry smash ice cream. Yeah, now that would be good. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds like it would be good ice cream, all right.
Yeah, I like ice cream, Mr. Softy. Pistachio tutti frutti. Oh, but you know, huckleberry smash, that'd be just... wait a minute. Ben Weaver's a softy? Does he own that ice cream truck?
No, Ben doesn't own that yet, but he'd like to. My cousin Roby Miller bought the ice cream truck and gave it to his boy Jerry to run.
Oh, yes. Roby and Irene Miller's boy, Jerry. Yeah, he's kind of clumsy. But he tries real hard. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. He once dropped a scoop of ice cream on Aunt B, but she just laughed. Butter pecan, I think it was. Say, what if Ben put up some money with Jerry and added another truck? There'd be more ice cream. Wouldn't that be something?
Yes, I suppose it would. 2 trucks, no waiting. Ben Weaver and Jerry Miller, Mr. Softy's ice cream.
Oh, no, they wouldn't go the same places. No. Yeah, they would... one would go to Mount Pilot while the other went over to Greendale. You see, expansion, diversification. Yeah, Weaver and Miller's, Mr. Softy Ice Cream. No, that just doesn't sound right. Maybe Ben and Jerry's? No, that'd never happen.
Floyd, speaking about diversification, I wanted to do a little business with you right here.
Yeah, Bert? Oh, don't tell me you're a manicurist now.
No, not that. You see, I bought my case over because Weaver's is closed today.
Weaver's is closed? On a Friday? I can't imagine that.
It's closed.
Yeah. Ben normally only closes on Sundays and holidays. Yeah. Friday's the busiest day of the week for most of us merchants.
Well, you see, there was a little accident there this morning. Mrs. Magruder was mopping the floor and she spilled a whole gallon of ammonia. Asa woke up from guard duty and walked outside coughing.
Really? Is he okay?
Oh, yeah, he's fine. He just needed some fresh air. As soon as we opened the doors, the place was fine, but Barney happened along and heard Asa coughing and saw the spill.
Oh, no, and Andy's out of town. Yeah, you know, Barney's a maniac when Andy's gone. Yeah, and he's
true.
In charge.
Well, the next thing you know, Barney has this whole front door wrapped up in yellow tape. He said he'd have to call the boys in the lab and the hazardous SWAT team to come in.
You know, he loves that yellow crime tape. Since Andy said he couldn't arrest anybody anymore while he's out of town, Barney just wraps everything in yellow tape.
I saw a bunch of bicycles parked on the sidewalk, all wrapped in yellow tape.
Yeah, but did you see Emma Watson? Yeah, Barney caught her jaywalking and wrapped that stuff around her nice black cup. Yeah, you'd wanted to see that. And she looked like a bumblebee. It was funny to see her marching down the street, mumbling. Yeah, mumbling, kind of like a buzz. Yeah, it looks like a bumblebee. Yeah.
I bet that was funny. Oh, I bet Barney will get stung when Andy gets back. Well, anyway, about this diversification, would you mind if I set up a little table here in your shop for a day or two?
Gosh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, set up right here in the shop? It might be crowded, Well, let me think a minute.
Well, if it's too much bother, I don't want to be a bother. Just the case opened up like this, with a little of this and that. Otherwise, Ben won't make any sales today unless I go door to door.
Oh, I see. Well, I wouldn't want anything to happen to old Salty Ben. Yeah, say, hey, look at those people out there, and look in the window at the stuff in your case. Oh, yeah, that means they might want to come in. Well, let's see here. I've got 2 chairs to swing it. But what about my customers?
You mean the ones that are here now?
Yes.
I don't see anybody. But if you let those people in, maybe some will want a haircut. Or some witch hazel or something.
Yeah, that's right. If you create a little traffic, I might give a shampoo or a facial. Yeah. Here, give me a minute here to set up. Here, you take this table and put it right up there next to the window. You can hang some things up here. Around here. Yeah, this will get good.
Yeah, I think so. One thing, then another. A little of this and that.
Oh, what do we want to call this? Lawson and Weavers.
Fun with Bert and Floyd.
Flat tops and whatnots?
How about a little off the top and a new pair of socks?
Let me see. I shall not run. When with Wilkie. Oh, I got it. I'm going to open the doors now. Welcome to Quickie Shampoo and Weavers too. Floyd Lawson, proprietor. It was a good day, too. I tell you that. We had all kinds of business that day. Yeah, me and Bert in business together. Yeah, you remember Jerry Miller, aren't you? Jerry Miller, I thought he was going to be a deputy for Andy, that he played the banjo. He's a good boy, but he was very clumsy. Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. Oh, me. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that flashback time there. I was reading the other day in the newspaper. The butcher over in Mount Pilot, the local butcher there, he backed into his meat grinding machine. Yeah, it said in the paper, it said he got a little behind in his work. I'm just a barber. I don't pretend to be a comedian. Anyway, I want to thank Alan for having me here tonight, and I'm going to throw you back to him. So we'll see you next time from Mayberry, North Carolina, Floyd's Barbershop. Talk to you later.
All right. So I hope you enjoyed that, business partners, even if the joke was a little bit rough there at the end. Hopefully he's not a comedian. He's Floyd Lawson. Floyd. So now we're going into another of James Dodson's favorite episodes. It was episode number 94 that he sent me that he liked, and it was called Along Came Other. And in this episode, we're going to find out where the name Other came from. Now, you know who the Darling Boys are, and you might know their names because in the episodes, they were often called by their names, Rodney. And I think I may talk about this in the podcast as it goes forward. But basically, they all had names, and Rodney was he was the guitar player. Doug was called Jebbin, and he was the banjo player. Mitch, the bass player, and Dean Webb was also called Other. He was the mandolin player. So we'll find out where the name Other actually came from. So I'm going to hand this back off. Again, this is from Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 94 from the 2010 time frame. So again, the video quality is not going to be quite as good, but I hope you enjoy the story and we'll stick around. So Alan, from, let's see, the past, is the past to this side, to the left maybe, we'll hand it back off to you. So take it away. Hello everybody, and welcome to Two Chairs No Waiting. I'm your host, Alan Newsom. It's good to have you with us. Hey, just a great time to get back here in Mayberry and have a little bit of fun. Tonight's episode is called Along Came Other. Well, that doesn't sound like much of a title for an episode, because most people are going to read it as Along Came Other, and they'll think, other what? But if you're an Andy Griffith Show fan, you'll know, or hopefully you'll know, the Darlin' Boys. The Darlin' Boys, we got Rodney, the guitar player. You got Doug. He's also called Jebbin. He's the banjo player. You got Mitch, who plays the big bass. And you got Dean, and he's also called Other. He plays the mandolin. Now, you may know those names, and you know that they're really the Dillards, because we've talked about that in the past. But this is something that I just dug back up recently. And do you know where the name Other came from? You know, I just thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. I was looking back through some old information I had, because a friend of mine, Paul Mulick, who's going to call in, or has a call in on this episode. We'll have a voicemail from him. But Paul, he's a great trivia guy. He knows an amazing amount of trivia about the Andy Griffith Show. Great guy. And he's actually the guy who I ended up buying my Mayberry squad car from. Anyway, that's beside the point. Back in October of 2005, there was a message that came across the Who's Been Messing Up the Bulletin Board Digest, which is the daily email that everybody gets. And the question that was out was talking about, it says, I'm so confused. A while back, I was watching a rerun of an interview about the Andy Griffith Show, including an interview with Andy. He said that the Makeup Man played banjo with the Dillards on an episode. They even centered on the photo of the banjo player, and they were playing in the jail scene. I always thought the Dillards were the ones who played the banjo. The Dillards, Doug Dillard. Andy said it was Greenway. Anyway, so that was a question that had come up. And here's what Paul Mulick wrote back, and this was the part I thought was interesting. He said, Andy surely meant to say that he and Lee Greenway used to get out their instruments and play with the Dillards between takes while everyone else was relaxing on the set. For every few minutes of filming on the show, there was probably like 15 minutes of waiting around. And Lee Greenway never appeared on camera with the banjo. Now, the regular Darlin' banjo player was Doug Dillard. And we knew that already. That's what Paul's saying here. In the episode The Darlings Are Coming, his character is called Other. Other is the middle name of Lee Greenway in real life. I didn't know that. So Lee Greenway, the makeup man, there on the Andy Griffith Show, his real middle name is Other. So that's where the name Other came from for Doug Darling on the Andy Griffith Show. Hey, great little piece of trivia that I had obviously knew, 5 years ago, nearly, but I'd forgotten. So Paul, thanks for that, man. I was, I don't know what made me find that, but I just thought that was a little bit of trivia that you guys would enjoy knowing, that that's how they came up with the name for, at least on that one episode, The Darlings Are Coming, for the banjo playing darling boy, Doug, in real life, Doug Dillard. He was Other Darlin' in that episode. So, hey, there's something for you to know. Now, let me, just in case you don't remember, this is a little sound clip from that episode where they mention him. So here we go.
Well, here we be all together again.
Not quite, Paul.
Huh?
Other's still down there.
So he be. Didn't even miss him. Don't have much personality, that boy.
Don't have much personality, that boy. Oh, anyway, Other. If you remember right before that was the Darlings were sneaking up into the back room number 27 of the Mayberry Hotel. They were sneaking up there and all staying in that one room. And Mr. Darden was getting banjo sounds, guitar sounds, all kinds of sounds out of his jug. And but before that was when they were first coming up there. They had that rope hanging out the back, and everybody else was up there. And the last thing to come up, where Mr. Darden was helping, was the bass, Mitch's bass. And they were trying to get it through the window, and Mr. Darling's neck got caught in the, I don't know what you call that, the curve of the bass. I don't know. Someone that's a musician will probably tell me what that means, what that is called. But anyway, his neck got caught in there, and he's going, give me slack, trying to get his head out. Anyway, I was just watching that episode, so I'm still laughing from it. But anyway, I just really thought that was cool about Lee Greenway, the makeup man on the Andy Griffith Show. his middle name being Other, and that being the Darlings Boys. All right, let's move on to one other thing. There was in that same episode, of course, Mr. Darling had been in trouble earlier for a 907, dipping a hat in the horse trough. He'd been in trouble for that. Well, later on, they'd gone there into the hotel, and then they were in the vacant room. So they got sent to jail. They went to stay there, jail, but if it was charity, he wanted no part of it. But this is the only time that one of the Darling Boys actually spoke. So let's hear this right here, right at the beginning of this clip. And we're going to play it a little longer because it's pretty funny. I like the clip. But the beginning of this clip, you'll hear about to pop. Well, that's one of the Darling Boys. That's Mitch, I believe. So let's hear it right here.
Are you sure you had enough,
Pop,
Thank you very much.
Charlene, let your old pa have that heap.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, you're a pretty young one, aren't you? How'd you like the white beans, Mr. Briscoe?
They was good.
Well, you didn't say anything.
He ate 4 bowls. Eating speaks louder than words.
You told him to say that, didn't you?
That's a very famous saying.
Oh? I stay in the house too much.
I stay in the house too much. Anyway, you heard that. Let's play that right at the beginning here, just at the beginning.
Are you sure you had enough,
Pop.
There it was, about to pop. So that's the Darling Boys actually spoke. So that's just another thing right out of that episode. Now, I do have, and part of what had me looking at some of Paul's stuff was that he had called me and had a voicemail with some feedback about last week's episode and some more information about some cartoons that Mr. Knotts had appeared in. So let's hear Paul Mulick in his own words.
Hey, Alan, this is Paul Mulick in Joplin, Missouri. I'm sitting out here on the porch on this fine night. The bugs are kind of loud out here. I don't know if you can hear them or not. Anyway, I was out here painting the porch. I found out that I'm somewhere between ept and inept. I guess I'm kind of quasi-ept. And I was listening to your podcast about the 2 episodes of the new Scooby-Doo movies that had Don Knotts. There were 2 of them. I think you kind of got them backwards, though. One of them was called The Spooky Fog of Juneberry. I can't imagine how they came up with the name Juneberry, but anyway, in that one, Don basically played Barney Fife, although they didn't call him Barney Fife, they called him Don Knotts. The town of Juneberry, the sheriff's name was Dandy Griffin, I think. The town didn't look like Mayberry, though. It was more like a wild western town, like you'd see in a western movie. And the other one that he was in, as you mentioned, was called Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner. That's not Knott. And that one I haven't seen in quite a long time, but if I remember, it was something to do with the gang went to some mansion where somebody's uncle was supposed to be leaving them some money or something. And Don played a whole variety of characters in that one. He dressed up like Sherlock Holmes, and I think at one point he dressed up like an old sea captain or something. But I also wanted to let you know that Don also played a version of Barney Fife in an episode of Garfield and Friends. You know, Garfield the cat in the comic strips. There was a TV show about 20 years ago. And also Jack Burns played a version of Warren. You know, the that he used to do. He played a policeman like that in that one. Anyway, there were also 2 episodes of Animaniacs that Barney Fife appeared in, but Don didn't do the voice. They just had a likeness of Don in those. Anyway, I'm enjoying those podcasts. Keep them up. Talk to you later. 10-4 over in Roger. Out and under. Bye.
Oh, Paul, thanks for calling in while you were painting your porch. I hope you were apt, and I hope the paint didn't run and smear all over everything. But thanks for that sign-off, too, out and under. Bye. I like that. Thanks for calling in and clearing up the Juneberry and the fog, because I couldn't remember. It's been a long time since I saw it. Paul mentioned that Don was on Garfield and Friends. As luck would have it, my son has seasons 1 through 5. Well, this actually, Don occurred, his episode was in season 6. It's episode number 95 of Garfield and Friends. And I definitely will be trying to get a copy of that. And if I do, I'll take some screenshots and be able to show you guys and post them online. But yeah, thanks for letting us know about that as well, Paul. So we'll keep looking for that. Now the Warner Brothers. The Warner Brothers. If you ever saw that cartoon, one of the characters on the cartoon, his hero, he idolized Don Knotts. I mean, he anytime they were anywhere, he would be asking stuff. They would be like, is that Michelle Pfeiffer or whatever, and he would do. What about Don Knotts? It would be his first statement coming out. So here's kind of what he sounds like. Let's see if this will work. But this is kind of what he sounds like.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mel Gibson.
Don Knotts.
Anyway, there are tons of clips like that. I've got about 8 or 9 of them here. But where he's looking for Don Knotts and he's upset he didn't find Don Knotts. But that's a great, Bugs Bunny-like cartoon series if you've never seen them, the Animaniacs. So anyway, that's probably more about cartoons than you ever cared about. But it's really neat to see Don and his characters, like I mentioned last week, in Scooby-Doo. So hey, be watching that series if you like cartoons like me, because I'm a big kid. But if you like them, watch them and see if you can spot things like that, because it's really fun to see. All right, guys. So there you have it. There is 2 of James's favorite episodes. I hope you enjoyed them. It's always fun to just spend time in Mayberry, even if it's remotely, and jumping back into the past. Hopefully you don't mind a rerun. We watch Andy Griffith Show reruns all the time. So hopefully you're going to have enjoyed this, and I'm sure you don't remember what was said back then unless you've recently listened to these, because I certainly didn't. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. You can email me at floyd@imayberry.com, or just drop by over at twochairsnowaiting.com and leave a comment there. I would love to hear from you. Folks, have a great Mayberry week, and I'll see you next time right here on Two Chairs No Waiting.